Morning, everyone, and welcome to our Heavenly Parent Holy Community Oceania K. And today we have Reverend Valami presenting on this Sunday, the 31st of August 2025, or the 9th of July in the 13th year of Chongyal Guk. Thank you all for coming, and let's begin with a bow to our true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, Chandi Champununge. Kyongale. Paro. And let's recite our family pledge, both in Korean and English.
가전맨세 2. 전일국 주인 우리 가족은 참 사랑을 중심하고 하늘 부모님과 참 부모님을 모시어 전주의 대표적 가정이 되며 중심적 가정이 되어 가정에서는 효자, 국가에서는 춘신, 세계에서는 성인, 전주에서는 선자의 가정의 도리를 완성할 것을 맹세하나이다.
Family pledge number 2. Our family, the owner of Chongyol pledges to represent and become central to heaven and earth by attending the Heavenly Parent and True Parents. We pledge to perfect the dutiful family way of filial sons and daughters in our family, patriots in our nation, saints in the world, and divine sons and daughters in heaven and on earth by centering on true love. Thank you, and I'd just like to share Mother's prayer that she gave on the 28th of January 2020. Dearest and most noble Heavenly Parent, you had a dream. You created everything in your image, and finally you created our first ancestors, a man and a woman. You looked forward to the day when they would be able to complete their responsibility. However, that did not happen. As a result, you had no choice but to look for your lost children over a long 6,000 years. We, the true parents, are aware of the circumstances and the heart with which you could only carry out this arduous providence of salvation and restoration through indemnity. For the first time in 6,000 years, you sent to this land your only begotten daughter, who can complete the providence, and the Messiah at the second coming, who had promised to return and who can bring Christianity to fruition, finally came. However, the Christian sphere that you prepared for true parents has not yet become one with your providence. As the true parents, and knowing well how eagerly heaven has awaited this day, we began through our holy wedding in 1960 the work of the blessing that gives rebirth and resurrection. Today there are many blessed families established around the world. Now, on the foundation of having fulfilled the standard of national restoration that I, your only begotten daughter and the true mother, promised to accomplish in front of you within the 7-year providential course that followed True Father's ascension. The Chombo Providence, which will enable blessed families around the world to stand in the position of having fulfilled their responsibilities as blessed families, has begun. Heavenly Parent, please remember your children of whom you are proud. May you guide and protect all the blessed families inducted as Chombo, so that they may all advance toward and soon bring about the day when you can realize throughout the world your dream and hope, which you have yearned to realize for so long. This will be the day on which you can say, everything has been accomplished. It is all fulfilled. Thank you. I pray and proclaim all these things in True Parents' name. Arju. Let's give a welcome to Reverend Valami as he shares today.
Good morning, Reverend Itaka. Good morning, leaders and brothers and sisters. Today in this Hondike, I will be reading from Holy Mother Han's word and sharing a little bit of testimony in Christian world should have known the wishes and dream of Jesus Christ. Holy Mother Han, April 24, 2024, Chongqing Peace World Center, Korea. I am very pleased to see all of you as we mark the 64th anniversary of our holy wedding. I would like to note that the history of True Parents Providence would have been very different if the Christian world in the 1960s had been aware of the wishes and dreams of Jesus Christ, who had said he would return. Why did Jesus die on the cross? In creating all things in the divine image, the Creator also created all things in heaven and earth in pairs, from minerals to plants to animals, and finally, a man and a woman capable of becoming the first ancestors of humankind. God gave human beings a growing period and waited for them to grow and reach the stage of perfecting their character. As those who were to become our first ancestors, they were meant to grow up in a state of absolute unity with God. Yet they were unable to accomplish this. Instead, they became fallen people and were expelled from Eden. However, the Creator's beginning point and ending point are the same. Having started this, our Creator has to see it through to the end. God cannot change the principle of creation once they are set in motion. Being unable to simply abandon fallen humankind, heaven carried out the work of the providence of salvation. Sorry. God chose the people of Israel, whom we know about from the Bible, and over 4,000 years established them from individuals, families, and tribes to a people and a nation. We know from the Bible that in the process of establishing central figures for each era, if that central figure failed or was unable to take responsibility, indemnity inevitably followed. A tremendous effort was undertaken, and after 4,000 years, God sent his only begotten Son, Jesus Christ, a son whom God good, a son whom God could call his own. Then why, after just 33 years, did Jesus have to go the way of? It is important that we understand this. Jesus' mother, Mary, knew that he was born of the Holy Spirit. Yet Mary, Zechariah's family, and the Judaic leaders were unaware of Jesus' true essence. The people of Israel, who had endured great hardships, waited for the Messiah. But when he came, they did not know what they had to do. In the end, no one around Jesus cooperated with him. He appointed 12 disciples, but even they did not know the providence. Ultimately, forced to take the path of the cross, Jesus cried out, Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me, yet not as I will, but as you will. Do you know what kind of indemnity offering the people of Israel made to heaven? Long-awaited central figure, he who has to become the true father of humankind and enable the rebirth and resurrection of fallen humankind. Being taken to the cross, Jesus spoke of his return. He said he would come again and hold the wedding feast of the Lamb. Christianity began from the apostles after they were reborn through the Holy Spirit. However, they did not understand Jesus' essence. As Jesus had promised to return, Christians waited to see if he would come. This was the starting point of Christianity. Following Rome's recognition of Christianity, the continent of Europe and subsequently the entire world were evangelized. However, despite Jesus' teaching to love one's neighbor as oneself, people were not able to fully practice this. The continent that suffered the most in the Christian world is Africa. How could missionaries carrying the Bible accept the capture and sale of Africans as slaves based on their skin color? What was done was unthinkable. Furthermore, it was from within the Christian realm that the communist ideology arose with its notion of God is dead, there is no God. Democracy and communism are still clashing in our world today. Considering that in the present time, things are drifting away from the path to a unified world, heaven allowed many religions to emerge for the salvation of fallen humanity. According to its origin, God permitted religions that could guide the people, most of which were led by men. However, if we look at the principle of creation, it is clear that a man cannot give birth to a life on his own. It is the same with religion. Now, all religions have reached a final stop on the way. Where should they go from here? They must ask the true parents who attend heaven. As International President Song stated earlier in his opening remarks, if the wedding feast of the Lamb had been held in the 1960s with the full support of the Christian Foundation, we would now live in a peaceful world of one family of all humanity attending God as their heavenly parent on earth. As this did not come about, however, the true parents had no option but to go through a wilderness course for 53 years. Considering true parents' responsibility, however, which is to actualize Heavenly Parents' dream on earth, heaven directed me to proclaim Foundation Day. In other words, when we consider the holy wedding of Jesus or the completion of the providence, the first only begotten Son was born, but there was no only begotten daughter. Heaven needed to choose a new people among whom to bring about the birth of the first only begotten daughter. She had to be born in a Christian environment in 1943, and many spirit-led pastors and others had to testify to her. I was born during the Japanese occupation of Korea, and my country was liberated in 1945. At the time, the Presbyterian Church of America was actively engaged in the works of the Holy Spirit in Pyongyang. Many memorable pastors therefore emerged during this period. At the end of the Second World War, however, due to the presence of Soviet forces in Korea, the country was divided by the Allied forces into North and South. 5 years later, the Korean War broke out. You need to understand that in accordance with the principle of creation, our Creator provided human beings with a period of growth. Heaven had to protect the only begotten daughter, born after 6,000 years, until she could grow, make decisions, and commit to something on her own. God had to protect me until then. At that time, however, the Korean peninsula was divided between North and South, between communism and democracy. During this period, the North was preparing to invade the South. Back then, there were various independent activists in the South, yet it was taking them some time to establish order. At the time when North Korea under Kim Il-sung was making preparations to invade the South, a 6-year-old child cannot carry the providence of heaven. That is why heaven sent me south. The South Korean government, however, was not fully prepared to stand up to the North when the Korean War broke out on June 25, 1950, and faced the possibility of South Korea's communization. As a result, having mobilized 16 UN member states during the Korean War, thus defending South Korea's democracy. The soldiers from the 16 countries were in their 20s or younger. They were the most virtuous and pure people in the fallen world. They shed their blood here in this land to ensure that Heavenly Parent's dream was fulfilled, and that God's only begotten daughter, the true parent who would complete God's providence and realize Heavenly Parent's dream, survived. As someone who has been in communion with heaven since my birth, I know that heaven's circumstances meant that God could not wait any longer. Thus I endured, waited, and proclaimed Foundation Day and Channel. But declarations alone are not enough. These things need to be shown. The dream, the dream of the Creator, our Heavenly Parent, is to live in the heavenly kingdom on earth with many children through the true parents. And when true parents reach the end of their lives on earth, the dream is to be together forever in the heavenly world. As we celebrate the 64th anniversary of the Holy Wedding and the 12th anniversary of Daniel Book, I am working to create an environment on this earth to realize Heavenly Parents' dream. I started with Africa, the poorest continent, and with the Islamic realms rather than the Christian realm. I declared that I am the only begotten daughter and that I could come to save Africa. A religious leader in Senegal said that his religious order would welcome the only begotten daughter. Thus, he became my son. The nation presidents also, I had explained to him about the heavenly providence and said to him, I am the only begotten daughter, so let's work together. So he too became my son. Everyone will probably come to the entrance ceremony next year. Haven't we gathered presidents and ministers from the Islamic realm and blessed them in the name of the two parents? We have done that. This is the unity of religions. When the true parents are at the center, all religions became one. The same is true for nations. Among the 200 or so nations, some are prosperous and others not. According to the grace of God, for all of these nations, the Creator, who is the original owner of the universe, is the Heavenly Parent. Through the true parents who are fulfilling Heavenly Parent's dream on earth, Sunwon-gung is being established. There will be the entrance ceremony next year. In attendance of our Heavenly Parent, should we be the only one to experience this tremendous soul-stirring experience, this overwhelming gratitude and joy? I sincerely hope that all of you will become blessed families who work tirelessly to bring about the day when all 8 billion people of the world will attend the Heavenly Parent on earth, and the day when all of humankind will become one in Heavenly Parent's embrace. Through our combined devotion and efforts, I pray that you will all become blessed families who announce this day and bring it to pass even sooner. Thank you. Now I want to share about my testimony, my matching, blessing, and family. I am youngest among seven siblings. I have two elder brothers and four elder sisters. For now, I am the only in our family who is a member of our movement, knows true parents. But currently, we in the process of witnessing and educating one of my niece who is living with us and attending university. She is learning divine principle together with her friends once a week. As most of you may know, I was matched in 2020 to a Philippine sister, Aris Regalado. I was matched to her in January 2020 while doing fundraising in New Zealand. We were attending YLT together for 1 year before being matched. Later, we attended the blessing ceremony on the 7th February 2020. The time period from our the time period from our matching to blessing was around 2 weeks. I actually go to New Zealand with a mindset of fundraising to prepare and attend the blessing or just attend the 2020 event in Korea. I feel I was prepared that time with the help of my leader to successfully receive and attend the blessing. Before the blessings, I remember I attended a Chonbo event in Philippines in 2019. Members were instructed to pray and fill out wish papers and offer during the Chonbo event. I fill out my wish paper and pray and offer it also. I did not think much about it. Two years after the blessing in 2020, we started our family life in Fiji. I remember about the wish paper I wrote. My first wish was to receive the blessing in 2020, and I was telling my wife about it. This was me recently after we got matched while I was doing a fundraising in New Zealand. And yeah, we were blessed. We both received the blessing in Korea. Yeah. I have two sons now. Valami Junior Chongyong Burau is 2 years old, and Primi Shimyong Burau is 1 year old. During COVID, after blessings, and before my wife came to Fiji, I somehow find it hard to live in the center and decided to go to my brother's place and started a ginger farm and help him with his bee farm. It was challenging at first because of the location of the farm area, which is very far from any house and it's in the middle of the forest. But somehow I determined to live there alone, and sometimes he also came to stay with me to help out. My ginger farm dream was short-lived because of some disputes with the relatives about the land. I came back to Suva to the center, and my wife came later to Fiji in 2022. My wife finally came to Fiji after COVID, but has to undergo 14-day quarantine. When I started my family life, I thought that it will be easy to communicate, understand each other, like most of the relationship I have with brothers and sisters in the training or at home. Somehow it was different. Not only I see my good character, I display my worst character as well, especially during little and big arguments. The same way my spouse displays herself. Also, I am very grateful and blessed to marry and receive the blessing to my wife from two parents. Now, after having two children, I feel I am very blessed and grateful for it, and especially to my wife. Most of the time, I can see how hard she works, and I challenge myself to be a better person also. With my two children around, I can see how time flies. Why is it precious to spend good times with them, my wife? Thank you everyone for listening. That's all from Monduke this morning.
Yeah. Thank you, Valami, for sharing with us your. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so thank you for sharing. It's good to see uh, your family, or to hear your family, I should say, many times during the background when you're talking about or reading a mother's message, so that we can understand the dreams and wishes of Jesus. To hear, your children in the background crying, it's very good to see or to hear, because I was thinking the same time, Christianity didn't really realize that Jesus came to have a family and to embrace his children, and that not just Christians are his children, but his own physical family. And to hear your children at that same time listening, I was thinking of Jesus' heart and how he longs for such a thing, but also uh, was very happy as well to hear your children in the background. And uh, some people are uh, asking in the chat, are uh, uh, your children there? Can we see them?
My wife is feeding or breastfeeding the small one. Maybe later, when they
Yeah,
are free, then I can bring them. Yeah.
sure. That's great. So yeah, really, the essence of Jesus was to welcome the only begotten daughter, and in your testimony, in your own way, you learned how to welcome your wife, and so also in a way parallel, to many people, especially the male realm, recognizing and welcoming a true mother. This is really a significant point. We live in history. Yeah, so it's thank you for sharing. I'm sure others have something to say or share. So I'll open it up and for them. Okay, if anyone likes to share something, please do. Yes, no, go ahead.
Good morning. Yeah, I like Valami. I had the blessing of spending a little time with him in Fiji when our true mother was supposed to have arrived in Fiji. So I went off, yeah. So at the center, me and Mr. Brother Hanson, yeah, in Fiji at the time. And also, I think, yeah, I remember Valami in New Zealand fundraising a couple of times, but maybe also early 2020 before coming over to Korea for the blessing. So yeah, it was interesting just listening to his testimony then. Yeah, he's got a lot more to share. I mean, I think he kind of researched different religions or joined different churches before settling with us. Anyway, thank you, Valami, for your love for Heavenly Parent and perseverance, and it would have been very difficult at that time. I remember reaching out during that time, and I was so happy that you responded on Facebook during that COVID time, or at one time you didn't appear, or yeah, for some time. So anyway, it's so good to see you with your family. Yeah. Many blessings. Thank you.
you. Yes, Reverend Santosh, go ahead.
Good morning. I'm a little bit down with flu, but I cannot stop sharing myself. There's Balami said he went to New Zealand. I asked him to go to New Zealand. I said, in Balami, go to New Zealand and make 21 days of condition, fundraising condition. So make a heart that within this 21 days condition, you might receive some kind of message about your matching. February 7 was the blessing, the 2020, and then I think early January, after 4 or 5 days, Balami went to New Zealand. 2 a.m. Dr. Young called me. It was 2 a.m. in Fiji. I think he was in Bangkok, maybe 10, 11 in Bangkok. Dr. Young called me and said, "What are you doing?" 2 a.m. What are you doing? I said, "Dr. Young, I'm sleeping 2 a.m. And Dr. Young said, "How you can sleep? How you can sleep?" Wow. Yeah, I was not supposed to sleep. I was supposed to do some chongsang. And then Dr. Young said, I think I found a candidate for Balami's matching. And then he started sharing about Iris, who is Balami's wife now. I had seen her before, but I had never talked to her. And later I realized that Balami and Iris, they were in the same fundraising team. Even Iris was the captain in his team. But Balami and Iris also, they never spoke each other. Maybe once or twice, but otherwise no. In the whole training time. And then I said to Dr. Young, is your inspiration, means this must be the inspiration from true parents and from heavenly parents. Then I conveyed that message to Balami. Of course, it was not an easy decision for Balami to decide to accept immediately, because before that he was matched with a Thai sister, and he went to Thailand also to meet that sister. Balami didn't share about that one incident in Thailand. Balami was doing fundraising in Thailand, and he was caught by the Thai police, and he was put in the jail for how many days, Balami? 3 days?
Yeah, 3
Yeah,
days.
3 days. Balami was kept in the Thai jail for 3 days for doing fundraising. So he had already some kind of foundation there in Thailand, being in the jail, but that matching didn't work. And after the rejection of that matching, right 1 month or 2 months before the blessing, I don't know how much easy it was, but Balami overcome that situation, and Balami accepted the matching. And then he completed his fundraising in New Zealand. Then he went to Korea, and Iris and Balami met each other. Of course, with a lot of challenges that every one of us face in the beginning, and every day they must be facing that challenges to understand each other and to solve the mission in Fiji. But I'm very much grateful. I'm very much grateful for Balami and for Iris and 2 boys. So 2 boys didn't have much difference. Just 13 months difference, 13 or 14 months difference. Their age is just 13 or 14 months difference, but They are doing their best in Fiji. We have Kuni-san and Satoka-san, a beautiful second generation missionary from Japan, working together with Balami's couple and building a foundation for our beloved parents. And from here, from Australia, we are in regular communication, and I'm trying my best to support them. So we have a big family to support Balami from Oceania and from all around the world. Thank you for your hard work, Iris and Balami and two boys. Thank you very much.
You. No, thanks, Reverend Stone. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much, Valami, for your lovely testimony. And also thank you for your faith and commitment to Heavenly Parent, true parents. I think Fiji's been a very tough mission over many decades. We've had missionaries out there even since, I think, 1975, and maybe 40 years at least before we could even plant one native Fijian in the mission. So it's a long, hard battle. And also Christianity there, of course, rejected true parents. I don't think even certainly once when true parents were on their way to Fiji, and also later when we worked hard to to get kind of a parliamentary mission, like parliamentary event going, and then also we struck a lot of difficulties bringing True Mother there. Anyway, so you're a very precious member, Valami, and Iris too, for your wonderful planting of the family there, and Kuniho and his wife as well. So we're so grateful now, and tremendous work of Santosh, who actually persevered for 9 years and brought this to fruition. So now we have a lovely little mission in Fiji. So thank you so much. Valami, I just wanted to ask, of course, we've had battles with Christianity there. Fiji's a real, has a very strong sort of Methodist foundation there. So, and you have seven siblings in your family and all of the older ones. How are you finding, the reception as a unificationist in there to other Christians and to even to your own family? How are you finding that, the reception that you receive from other people there, particularly Christians? Yeah.
Thank you, Reverend Stone. My parents, I was born Catholic. My parents say they are still Catholic from until today. My sibling, they are Christian. Like my eldest brother is still Catholic. My second brother, he joined Seventh-day Adventist, and my sister, they kind of go to their spouse religion, and if it's spouse it's AOG or Methodist, they will join their spouse. So I don't have any problem with my family regarding religion or like my belief, my belief. But they did not ask anything about what I believe. Yeah, I didn't like share yet to them about the true parents. And but my niece, we are staying together now in Suba. We are trying to educate her a little bit about different school. She attended home care and Sunday service and our program in the center every time we have a program. And if she's yeah, and but for when we like to meet other Christian, that's only when we do a witnessing for young people in university. Yeah, and then when we share about what we usually do, give them is introduction about divine principle, or like introduction about our YSP, about our program. And then it's very amazing, like how they react to it, like especially the divine principle, the one chapter 2 mostly. So most of them, they don't have anything to say against it. Like they say, oh, it's really new, it makes sense, like what happened in the Bible, but they don't understand it much until they usually until they receive the divine principle from Dr. Tyler Hendricks on YouTube. That's what we used to give them, and then we talk about it. Dr. Tyler Hendricks is very summary of everything and straight to the point. But usually for Christian or young people, when they come and then we share about they don't have anything to say. They just say, "Oh, it's a new thing." But for them to counter it, they don't have any counter. So it's amazing how like we don't have yet any counter from young people. But I think if we give them to much of the people or pastor or youth, then I believe there will be many like counter or many discussion about our movement. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, Reverend.
Where is the big boy, Balami? You can bring the big boy.
Just there.
I will bring them. Yeah, he's outside.
Yeah.
Paris.
Maybe Iris can say something. Great, Iris.
Yeah, you need to put the camera or the boys up a bit higher or the camera a bit lower. There we go. Beautiful.
Good morning.
Everyone.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, I'm in the background listening to my husband sharing. Yeah, it's really true that we only display our very true nature to our spouse, because I didn't think also that I have this kind of nature. It comes out when dealing with him, and then it's difficult to unite. I thought in the training I already united my mind and body, but in this kind of frontline of family, it's not an easy frontline. You need to unite with the spouse. Need to also unite my own self, and many challenges because especially raising the kids, also have to control my emotion, and then the way they respond is like, they're very sensitive. Like if you cannot like build up the heart to them, and then you just get angry and correct them, then they will cry, and then you feel guilty. something something like many discoveries in motherhood that yeah, I had discovered this time. And being a wife also, yeah, there are many things. Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you. Yeah. Always many new challenges for a new family, but yeah, as long as you remember to put our Heavenly Parent first and put attending our Holy Mother Han, then yeah, your own problems become small and easier to handle and bear, and then the heart of gratitude really comes. So don't worry, it always gets better. Yes, still a bit of time if anyone else wants to make a comment or reflection.
Yeah. Just one of the. I don't have much to say, but one thing that for sure that comes out is how much we are united as a family. The family is extended into all the branches of our movement in the Oceania. So you're never alone. Some you may feel you're alone, far away and somehow disconnected. But it's not. It's not the case. We are just one family. So we all went through so many things, and you can identify, understand what you're going through. You're not alone. You're not isolated. We are really, really together with true mother and true father, heavenly parent, and you are one family in heart and spirit. So I want to say that you should never feel alone, never feel isolated and hopeless, because there's tremendous hope. This is the age of amazing hope, because of the heart of a heavenly parent being able to express themselves fully through us, being able to express. We can channel heavenly parent. We can channel the spirit, because the spirit is now. This is a time for God to come down through true parents. And so you can feel heavenly parents like a grandfather and true parents like a parent. And you have the children. So we are so many levels of love and heart that's coming down from so many different dimensions. But difficulty between husband and wife is always the intercultural dimension, which you are restoring, two nations, two regions of the world together. That's why it's difficult, because you got all your ancestors from both sides coming down. They all want to find harmony, but it's not easy. But this, as John said, this is a time of hope. This is an expression of hope, because you're breaking down barriers in your ancestry. So you're actually victors. You're victorious. And so you're the champions. You're the pioneering the way for a new world. What's around you is enormous. It's huge. So don't think you're alone. You're never alone. Never alone.
Very true. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's it.
Balami also went to Solomon Island for training. So maybe Reverend Arnold is there. Arnold is the one who guided Balami during the training in Solomon Island.
Okay. No. I need to unmute yourself, Ronald. Yeah,
Morning.
good morning.
Yes. Thank you, Brother Valami, for your wonderful sharing this morning. Actually, the same Hundoke I read last Sunday, so I kind of when Valami Valami share on it this morning, I have another perspective of it. So, I mean, how he shared it, and then together with his testimonies, I I really felt like, yeah, uh, true mother is really working hard. And on Friday, through the Chongqing one, I really felt like, wow, even though true mother, her age, but she's still working hard. And uh, having Valami here in Solomon Islands is um, really good experience. That time, I think Uncle Chris is still the national leader, but we stayed together during the holiday. So yeah, Valami is very quiet actually, uh, but yeah, he just follow, like strictly follow activities. So yes, I'm so happy for Brother Valami. Um, yeah, and I think the uh, Sister Iris also. She's, I believe she's our asset in our region. She can help us. I remember she's helping our Solomon second gen with Korean language. So yeah, it's good if we can maybe set up something for our children to learn Korean language. Yeah, through Sister Iris. So thank you so much for your investment in Fiji. You have a blessed time in Fiji. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for sharing so much. It's time now for us to offer our unison prayer. So I'll just bring up the screen. Okay, there it is. And let's pray together. Thank you. Jew, Jew, Jew. Thank you, everyone. Thank you again, Valami and Iris, for sharing. And I hope everyone has a great day and see you all again tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay, have a nice week.
Keep polishing those diamonds.
Thank you, Valami and Iris, and your family.
Yeah.